McLaren has made a name for themselves. When you see a McLaren, you know that it will be an engineering masterpiece that will stand its own on any track, and it will still be drivable on the road. Well, they have announced a new car, and this one is a little different. Let me explain why. Over the last few years, many companies have released track-only hypercars, but where most companies make GT3 style cars like the Vulcan, the 599XX and the Essenza SCV12, which are all two-seaters, McLaren is taking it a step further. The Solus is a single-seater hypercar designed to deliver the ultimate racetrack performance. Now, before we go into the specs and all of that, let's talk about how this thing came to life. McLaren, which got its reputation in Formula 1 and Indycar racing, has created the Solus, which was an extreme McLaren design concept born in the virtual racing world of Gran Turismo. And the car came into life because of a challenge set out by Gran Turismo's founder, Kazunori Yamaha, which threw out a design challenge to automakers asking for their ideal GT. And here are a few of the entries: the Dodge SRT Tomahawk VGT, the Mazda LM55 VGT, the Aston Martin DB100 and the Alpine VGT, to name a few. All of these cars are weird, super futuristic ideas that these car manufacturers have as like their ultimate track or race cars of the future. So when McLaren decided to actually make this thing into a reality, I felt like I had to make a video on it. It's a video game car that is coming to life. Now, I have to state that McLaren will only make 25 of these, and all of them have already been sold at $3.6 million a pop. Okay, so now that you know the story behind it, let's get into the specs. What is this thing capable of? Well, behind the center mounted cockpit lies a 5.2 litre naturally aspirated V10 provided by Judd. Now, if you didn't know Judd has provided engines for many major racing series, including Formula 1, Indycar, sports touring, the list goes on. The point is, they create some of the best racing engines out there. Now, this engine is a howler. The naturally aspirated 5.2 litre V10 revs over 10,000 RPM. McLaren says that this engine is unique and that its crank, capacity, air intake and exhaust systems are all bespoke, hinting that this thing has been developed from a former race engine. Now, in this engine, each cylinder has its own throttle bodies, which improve performance, but more importantly, it makes this thing sound awesome. Now, peak power is 830 horsepower with around 650 Nm of torque. Now, for all of you who played the game, you might have noticed that the real deal makes a few hundred ponies less than the video game version, but remember, this thing won't be fiction, this is a real car. The power will be sent to the wheels via a new 7-speed sequential automatic gearbox. Now, what does all of that power combined with a super lightweight carbon fiber body mean in terms of real world performance? Well, this car will reach 100 km/h or 62 miles an hour in just 2.5 seconds, and it will go on to a top speed of over 200 miles per hour. But remember, this thing is a track racer, so straight line performance is not the main purpose of the car. The car is filled with motorsport technology. It has 3D printed magnesium parts, a carbon fiber chassis, no doors, a fighter pilot style cockpit, race style suspension and brakes, and then to top it all off, 18-inch forged aluminium wheels fitted with Le Mans specification racing tires. Like I said previously, the car will be super light. I don't know exactly how light, but McLaren is targeting a weight of less than 1 ton. On the aerodynamic side, we can all see that this thing was designed in the wind tunnel, and because of all of this aero, this thing is able to produce around 1.2 tons of downforce. So like you can see, this thing will be a monster on a track, but it won't qualify for any actual racing, so it's a hell of a lot of money to race on a few track days, and McLaren obviously will throw a few events, but I mean, what is the purpose of this car? It's not race legal in most racing series, it's not street legal, it's just kinda cool. I think most of these are just gonna stand in the garage, if I'm completely honest. I have to say, I am super curious to see the times that this thing will lay down on some famous tracks. I would love to compare these times with actual race cars to see exactly how fast this thing is in comparison with the real racing cars that people race in competition. yeah, but let me know down below what you think of this new McLaren Solus. Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's kind of daft because it doesn't really have a purpose? Let me know down below. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I've got many more car related content. In fact, car content is like the thing I do. So if you like cars, this is the place to be. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers, eh?